guys, welcome. Can you guys hear me? Because I know I was having some sound issues, so make sure that you guys can hear me. And, it looks like it's working. I think. Give me a yes if you can hear me. Yes, thank you, Bonnie. All right, so welcome to my channel. My name is Laura, aka PURPLEXEDQT. I put the ring light right behind my camera, so I may squint a little because it's a little bright. So, what's up, Dawn Marie? So, all right, what I will say is I am a little late on this. When I did some research, I realized that a lot of people talked about this a couple of days ago, so I am a little late. I just found out about it yesterday. So, it's brand new to me, so I'm excited about it. Because you guys all know how I felt about Scott Peterson. And I go against the grain a lot. So welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome to the coolest. I wouldn't say the prettiest. I wouldn't say the best. I would say the coolest true crime channel on YouTube. We have a lot of fun. So make sure you hit that sub button, subscribe button. And let's get right down to it. So I got a bunch of things I'm going to talk to you guys about today. And first case is Scott Peterson, and let's kind of see how long it goes on before I tell you about other stuff that I'm working on. So let's get right down to it because there's a lot to talk about. I know that a lot of people have a lot of questions. I also want to make a disclaimer that I am not an attorney. I just play one on YouTube, but I did go through a lot of stuff on my own. I filed many motions. I played my own attorney for a couple of years, and so I do understand the law, and I do understand how this works. On a positive note, I happened to watch an attorney before who was saying the exact same things I was going to say, so it gives me some credibility, honestly. But I know you guys are going to have a lot of questions, so let's get right down to it. First, let me say hi to everybody. What's up, Patreons, members, subs, lurkers, haters, trolls, anybody. And newbies, definitely newbies. So, all right. This is huge. What I want to see first is give me a 1 if you believe that Scott Peterson is innocent. Give me a 2 if you have doubt, and give me a 3 if he's guilty. I need 1, 2, or 3. Thanks, Dawn Marie. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Jen. One, 2, or 3. 2. 2 is in between. 3. We got guilty, guilty, guilty in between. Guilty, 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 guilty. Come on, there's got to be somebody that thinks he's innocent. 2. Hey, Val. 3. Nobody thinks he's innocent? Nobody? Nobody? I could take I always had doubt. So we got a 3. 3 plus. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. Thank you. Finally, somebody. So guilty. And nobody bashed Jenny, because I'm right there with her. Okay. So most of you think that he's guilty. There's a couple of in between that are not so sure. I have teetered on innocent and not so guilty. I mean, not so sure. I have gone back and forth like 100,000 times. I just can't decide which is which. I can't figure out if he's really innocent, if it's a matter of the lynch mob that he got hit on, you know, that's why I went to jail, so on and so forth. I haven't been able to decide. I'm kind of in the middle. See, but I'm going to get to all that, CK. That's a big thing that a lot of people talk about is all the circumstantial evidence. See, but here's the catch. Circumstantial evidence is great in 2004. In 2020, that shit ain't flying. It's just not. There's no way that circumstantial evidence that made someone guilty in 2004 is going to make them guilty in 2020. It's not going to happen. So here's what's going on. Thank you, Carol. Here's what's going on, though. Guilty or driving. So besides Jenny, does anybody else think he's innocent? And me. Anyone? I know I could speak for Makeup Mobster. She's kind of has her doubts. So nobody else thinks he's guilty. I mean, innocent. All right. He did it. Not so fast, Brooke. Not so fast. All right. Thank you, Jenny. Is Jenny sticking with that one? 111. Ladybud, that's cool. Haven't made up your mind yet? That works too. So, no, but I think you should get a new trial. And that is most likely absolutely going to happen. But I'm going to explain all that. So, I'm sure I don't have to reiterate the case. Everybody knows Scott Peterson case. If you don't, you've been living under a rock. If you just need to, a reiteration. Is reiteration a word? Reiteration. It sounds right. Is that a word, guys? Reiteration? Thanks, Val. Come on, tell me if that's a real word or not. Come on, my smart people. Reiteration, is that a word? It sounds good. If it's a Laura-ism, I'm proud of it. Anyone? Come on, tell me, is that a real word? It's not. All right, we got to, one says yes, one says no. All right, so we're going to go with it. I know reiterate's a word. I was saying reiterate is, what did I say? I don't know. Let's reiterate, just in case. Just in case there's people that don't know. Reiteration, that's what I said, reiteration. It's an ism. No, they're saying it's a real word. Reiteration, they're saying is a real word. See, I'm smart, I didn't even know it. So, to reiterate the case, if you're not sure what it is, or you're not totally familiar with Scott Peterson, back in, I don't remember what year it happened, but in 2002, I believe, very young, good-looking guy, very young, good-looking girl who was 8 months pregnant, Scott Peterson and Lacey Peterson. Allegedly, he was convicted of murdering his wife. She was 8 months pregnant. She disappeared. He was out boating all day when nobody knew he had a boat. And he allegedly put her in the boat and the unborn baby, threw him overboard, went back home, called his girlfriend because he was a cheat. But just because he's a cheat doesn't mean he's a murderer. And because of his actions and his narcissism and the way he projected himself, he got hung by the jury and he was sentenced to death. But California overturned the death penalty. Then in August of 2020, he's been on death row for 16 years. In August of 2020, they went ahead and overturned his conviction. But not the conviction part. They overturned due to a judge, too many errors in the court, that the appeal court of California had decided, you know what, this is not going to work for me. So that is the one thing that will cause an appeal board to overturn a case or overturn a conviction, and they have no choice but to do so. And that is when you have too many errors in the courtroom, too many errors in the judge, things that seem shady. That's what the appeal courts are there for. So the appeal courts, something triggered them from the appeal that was done in 2015. Why that triggered it, nobody knows, because he had other appeals that didn't trigger anything. But something that was caught in the 2015 appeals brought it to the appeal courts. The appeal courts agreed with the defense attorneys, and boom, they overturned the death penalty, which at the time in August, I know it's only a couple months ago, really wasn't that big of a deal, simply because it it really wasn't that big of a deal because California stopped doing death penalty anyway. So, okay, so you have a death penalty case, but the guy's not going to die anyway in jail because California got rid of it. So I don't get the point. And then this happened. Then the big boom. So if you guys remember, there was a judge. I forgot to get a picture. Hang on. I can't do this without the picture. All right. I knew I was going to have a hiccup somewhere. Had everything lined up, and now I got a hiccup. I knew it. I knew I was getting a hiccup. Hang on. Okay. So remember her? I'm sure you guys remember her. She is the juror that caused all of this to go down. What ended up happening was what they just found out very recently, and the appeal courts caught onto it and caught it, is that they don't know if she was looking for money, if she was looking for fame, or she was just trying to screw him, but she really, really wanted to burn him. When you're a juror, you have to fill out a certain questionnaire. Have you ever been involved in domestic abuse? Have you ever been arrested? Are you a felon? Now, at the same time you answer, it's also up to the courts to do their research. It's also up to the attorneys. It's also up to the attorneys to do their research if they're that worried about a case. Now, if I was an attorney, they don't have to, but if I was an attorney and I'm doing a death penalty case and I am as good of an attorney as, and I'm a good enough attorney, hold on. As this man, Mark Aragos, you bet your ass I am going to make sure that every single person on that jury is who they say they are. And I would find out, do they have any criminal background? Are they lying about anything? Because this was a death penalty case. I don't know if Mark Aragos thought that, hey, I'm me and he's not going to go to the chair, but he very well could have. And a lot of it fell on Mark Aragos because he didn't do his research. I don't know how such a top-notch attorney who made millions in his career, billions in his career, didn't do that kind of research, but he didn't. So he did get old. He looks good, though. I saw him in an interview the other day. So Mark Aragos is, I'm sure I'm saying his name wrong, but my disclaimer, I may pronounce names wrong. He didn't even interview people enough. He really didn't do a good job. But anyway, and he's not the appeal attorney. He was the original attorney. So this girl, we find out that this girl lied, completely lied about everything, just wanted to get on the case, just wanted to do this, just wanted to do that. Well, in the end, what happens is now Scott Peterson may get a new trial. Now you say to yourself, now he's not going to get a new trial, blah, blah, blah. But he very well might, because this is how it's going to happen. He's going to, all right, so what the judge said is, what this new judge said is, yes, this is a misgross of justice, and this is not right. So, according to the judge, what he's saying is that now they have to go stand in front of a jury, not a jury, panel of, I think, 3 judges. And those 3 judges are going to decide if Scott Peterson, if this was enough to throw out the case, and if Scott Peterson gets a new trial. The problem is Scott Peterson really can't lose. The reason I say that is if they deny him, well, they're going to appeal. And if they accept it, Scott gets a new trial. If they appeal, they're most likely going to win. They're going to win that appeal. The reason being, our foundation of the justice system. And I've said this before about Brendan and Stephen. By the way, today is Brendan Dassey's 31st birthday. I don't mean to get sidetracked, but yeah, today Brendan turns 31. Brendan was arrested when he was 16. I'm going to get into that later, though. I didn't want to forget. So he, Garagos, and yeah, so I forgot my train of thought. So they can't lose. They really can't. The reason why they can't lose is our entire justice system is founded on that premise. It has to be fair. In 2020, circumstantial evidence from 2004 is not going to fly. It's just not. Things have changed. Circumstantial evidence today, he would never have been convicted. So once they have the appeal, if the prosecution or the prosecuting attorney decides that they need to move forward, or that they're not sure if they want to move forward, they have to really look at themselves and say, do we have enough evidence? Do we have enough evidence in our back rooms to convict this man again? Or are we going to get charged with another problem where everybody knows he's guilty or everybody believes he's guilty and there's no possible way that you can have a jury that's not tainted? Which leads to the next thing, which I haven't heard anybody talk about, except me. He would be brilliant not to do a jury trial. And even though jury trials are absolute, got to do a jury trial, should absolutely not do a jury trial. And here's why. Jury is going to convict him based on emotion. A jury is going to convict him the same way they did last time. The odds of you finding, just like my little poll here, the odds of you finding 6 people, men or women, that believe he's innocent are slim pickings. Plus, you're going to have the people that may have done it the first time. They can't mess around like that. This is a man that could be innocent. Don't shoot me, guilters, but he could be innocent. So when you take that into consideration, you think to yourself, are they willing to take that risk? They may not have a choice, because if his attorneys are good, his attorneys are going to use that to their advantage, and he very well might get a new trial, and he very well might walk. Now, before you guilters freak out, say he doesn't deserve to walk, I want you to think about something. Oh, hold on. I want you to think about something. If it was you, and you knew that you were convicted in a matter of an unfair system, wouldn't you want trial to be based on, or your conviction to be based on actual facts, not some jurors' emotions, not some circumstantial evidence? Because in all actuality, Scott Peterson was a cheat. In all actuality, Scott Peterson was a piece of shit. In all actuality, Scott Peterson was a bad, bad boyfriend and husband. But that doesn't make him a murderer. Just because he was having an affair, many men have an affair that aren't murderers. Many people have affairs that aren't murderers. Many women have affairs that don't end up in murder. But Scott Peterson did a lot of dumb moves along the way. And to be honest with you, if you really think about the steps he took, was he just a scared man, knowing that he was getting the blame? Was he just a cheater that didn't want the world to know he was cheating? Was he embarrassed because of his ego? And I say ego like a narcissistic ego, that he didn't want anyone looking at him like that. That could make somebody feel like they're a murderer. But there was absolutely zero solid evidence to prove that he's a murderer. So what the prosecution is going to do, it's going to be really, really interesting. I don't know if they're going to allow another trial. And if they do, they're probably going to pray for a jury trial, because I just don't think they have the evidence to back it up. The way I personally think it's going to go down, don't clock it, but I kind of think they're going to deny it. He's going to appeal. He's going to win on appeal, and then they're going to have a new trial. That's how I personally think it's going to go down, because they can't stop it. If they win on appeal, and the appeal courts are the ones that said, hey, this is wrong. You know, everything about this case is wrong. First we take him off the death penalty because there was errors in the court. That's the one thing you don't want to see. And most appeals don't go that far. Most appeals get denied, because rightfully so. But the ones that have those error in problems, they usually get out, because the Supreme Court is not going to put that kind of emphasis on it and go through every single aspect of it unless they believe that, okay, this person needs a new trial. And when that person, statistically speaking, if you get a new trial, a lot of times you do get out. A lot of times you get convicted, but a lot of times you do get out. Hey, Makeup Mobster. If this is the Supreme Court's, then that's the final decision. Yeah, well, the Supreme Court ruled the Court of Appeals in California ruled that it is now, they have to go in front of a board to see, that board is going to decide if they get a new trial. If Scott Peterson is going to get a new trial. That's what the only thing the appeals board voted for. Understand something too. A lot of people get confused about appeals. The appeal board is not like another courtroom. I mean, the Supreme Court is, but the Appeal Board of California, it's not like another courtroom where you just show up and, here, we're going to try this now, and we're going to try this now. It doesn't work like that. The appeal boards are just there as a guidance. That's all they do. They guide the lower courts. They guide the lawyers, the defendants. They are just there like Big Brother, making sure that your constitutional rights are met, that a judge is not corrupt, a lawyer's not corrupt. That's the only reason the appeal courts are there. They're not there to retry anybody. They're not there to say, okay, you're innocent or guilty. They don't have that much with them. They can't make that decision. All they could do is make a guideline. So here, the guideline for the courts is just simply that, hey, you know what? I think this deserves taking a look at even further. He deserves to, let's make a decision. Is this worth a new trial? And like I said, I have a feeling they're going to say no. They're going to appeal, and they're going to win on appeal, because you can't deny somebody's fundamental rights to have a fair trial. You just can't. He won on habeas corpus, and if you're not sure what habeas corpus is, technically it means that you have a right to show up. They want to see a body. They're not unlawfully detaining you. So it's kind of where the no body, no crime came from, but two separate things. One's criminal, one's not. You just have to think about it like the appeal courts are just like Big Brother. They're just there to make sure that the laws were met. So they can't say anything other than he deserves to be heard. And then they're going to appeal, and the appeal court's going to say, well, this is a gross miscarriage of justice. So why did you deny it? So that's where it's at. And oh my God, Lacey's family's freaking out. But this goes back to, no, Captain Asol, you're wrong. They don't determine if a new trial is required. The appeals courts don't do that. What they do is they make a determination if they're going to allow the lower courts to make that determination. They're just like Big Brother. There's no new evidence presented to appeal courts. It's just fancy writing of the trial transcript. That's it. That's all an appeal is. This case will set a precedence, though. Absolutely. Maybe, though. Well, I can't say definitely. I say maybe. Because we don't know for sure. It depends how it goes. It really does. It depends how it goes in court. In that, trial. Not the trial. In the decision making. See, now, for all of you that are definitively he's guilty, let me ask you something. What if you're wrong? There are millions of people, hey, Just Angel, that believe that Darlie Rotier is innocent. Then there's half America that thinks she's guilty. So which is it? She's on death row. That doesn't make her guilty, though. We here, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. Just my opinion. You can't, what's the word I'm looking for? We're not at a crime scene. We don't have the evidence. The only thing that we have is what is given to us by the media. The media is not dead on. The media is not the greatest. They pretty scammy at times too. So they give us false information. But that's the only thing that we have to go on. Even if you watch a trial, if you're watching a trial from beginning to end, you kind of get a better feel, but you still don't have everything that the judges have. You don't have everything in front of you. I mean, not jurors, not judges. You don't have anything in front of you, even if you're watching the whole thing. You're not privy to certain information. So for anyone to be so dead set, like they're guilty or they're innocent, you have to have that little doubt because you don't know. It's how I feel about Casey Anthony. In my heart of hearts, I believe Casey Anthony is guilty. Hands down, you're not going to change my mind. But a jury of our peers, 12, said that she wasn't. And there was something that we were all missing then. That 12 jurors came back, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 6, not 8, but 12 jurors came back and said she wasn't. Now, OJ, a little different. OJ's very, very easy because, I mean, the thing with OJ, and I know people that think he's innocent, but the thing with OJ murders, okay, OJ's been in jail. You gain weight in jail. You have leather gloves that are going to shrink over a couple of years, and they were wet and everything else. So, yeah, the gloves are not going to fit. I can't even believe they based it on his innocence on that because there was enough evidence to show that him, possibly somebody else, was there and murdered her. So there was a little more than circumstance. I think Darlene may be innocent, but I flip-flop. See, that's what I'm saying. OJ was and is still guilty. And Jenny, in my heart of hearts, I believe that. And I agree with you. But we weren't there. We don't have the evidence that the cops on scene have or that the jurors have or anybody has. So don't forget that. And again, I agree with you, Casey's guilty. But like I said, a jury peer of 12 said she wasn't. And all right, so now that I talked all that, do you guys have any questions? Because there's some audio from Mark Aragos that I want you guys to hear. I'm going to have to do it more. I can't show it. I'm going to have to do more like a reaction, so I'm going to be stopping it. But there was a really, really good interview. No, I can't look at Chad when I'm looking at the camera, Lucy. Now I can. But when I'm looking straight into the camera, Chad is below me. So I didn't see it. Felt OJ was innocent at the time. Oh, I never thought he was innocent. That's when I was in my car accident. I told my dad, I'm like, Dad, he's guilty. He is guilty as a mofo. Well, make him off. So I don't know when you came in, but I said that. I said, I do not feel that a jury is going to be in Scott Peterson's best interest at all. This is not a jury trial. This is a, he should go to a judge and just use a judge. What's up, Four Scores? Four Scores, and I see you moseying on back again. You stopped coming around for a while. There were a few pregnant women who washed up at the same marina. Yes. But Lucy, my question, playing devil's advocate, my question for that is, maybe he's a serial killer. Maybe he killed all of them. You never know. The reason why I tend to believe that he might be innocent, I'm going to explain this to you. And I've said, hey, Goldie, and I've said this before. So this is not, oh, she says, hey, Four, not even to me. All right, Goldie, I get it. Lacey was so pretty. She was beautiful. All right. Let's go back to the night in question, the day in question, the morning in question. So Lacey is 8 months pregnant. Lacey decides to go on a walk, go somewhere, so on and so forth. Nobody's seen her. The dog disappears. There was one factor of this that to me really made me believe he was innocent. And that one little factor is the news reporter. There was a news reporter camped outside of Scott Peterson's house, was there at like 6 o'clock in the morning. This is on the A&E special of the murder of Lacey Peterson. It's on this special. The news reporter, now cops have a reason to lie. Scott has a reason to lie. Everyone's got a reason to lie. This news reporter has no reason to lie. I don't remember the exact day, but I'm going to use Thursday and a Friday. So on a Thursday that she disappeared, there was a robbery right across the street. There was an odd-looking van, whatever, right across the street. And the burglars who burglarized the house across the street, I'm going to get to that in 1 second. They burglarized the house, allegedly. Some people saw Lacey. Mark Aragos never interviewed them. But the news reporter who was parked at Scott Peterson's house never saw robbers, never saw anybody across the street, and would know if he did. And why that's so important is because the news reporter was there like on a Friday. It was Friday morning. The burglary and Lacey's disappearance happened on Thursday morning. But when the 2 robbers got caught, or 3 robbers got caught and went to jail, they had phone interviews. They talked to somebody on the outside. And guess what? Those phone calls miraculously disappeared. Phones in prison, those phone calls do not disappear. Especially when you're in one of the biggest high-profile cases that California has seen in a long time, and one of the most, actually the biggest in their county, Northern California. So to say that these tapes just magically disappeared when you have inmates, granted they may not be so reliable, but you have inmates that are sitting there saying, yes, I heard them say this. Yes, I heard them say that. Yes, I heard them say this. And there's cops or COs, correction officers, that swear that they were talking about a murder or Lacey's murder, and somehow they miraculously disappeared. Now, you can say, okay, they're lying. But the news reporter said that if that, then the cop changed the dates. The cop said that all that happened on Friday. The robbery happened on Friday. Well, the news reporter was like, no, it didn't. I've been here all day. And the cops and the robbers and cops and robbers like working together, they said, no, this happened on Friday. And the news reporter once again said, no, it did not. I've been here the whole day. I've been here since 6 o'clock this morning. Nothing has happened. There was no robbery across the street. There was no weird van across the street. Nothing happened. Why are the cops lying? And why is the news reporter the most reliable? Why would the news reporter lie? He would have absolutely no reason to lie. That piece of evidence right there made me think he's innocent and made me think he really didn't do it. That to me was huge. If you want to talk about circumstantial evidence and you look at motive, that news reporter had absolutely no reason to lie. None. It would serve him absolutely no justice to lie. It just wouldn't. But everybody else had a reason to lie. You know, and you would say, oh, why are they framing Scott? Was it an election year? I don't really remember. But again, just because Scott Peterson is a thief and a cheat and a liar and a snake doesn't mean he's a baby killer and a mama killer. Like I said, his actions are questionable. But that news reporter, to me, was my single factor in saying maybe he's not guilty. And I know a lot of people disagree with me. Bunch of liberals in California, that's another thing. California is very lenient. They have a lot of really strange laws. Why would these strangers kill her, though? Maybe she saw something. We don't know who these robbers are. You know, and on the flip side, maybe he hired them. Maybe he hired somebody to kill them. That we don't know either. We can't say that he didn't hire someone. He could have very easily hired someone to kill her. Because he got scared, Hummingbird. I've answered this question a lot. See, Jenny, you agree with me. I forgot what case it was. There was another case that I talked about this. Let's say... Oh, John Bennett Ramsey. That's the case I talked about this. Let's say... I didn't want to use my kids. Let's say my neighbor was at my house. Let's say me and my neighbor had a little hubba-hubba. And I ended up dead. He's the last person to see me. He's the last person inside me. So the cops are going to do... All right, let me back up. Let me change the story a little. My neighbor and I are getting it on. Woohoo, woohoo. Having a great time. He leaves. Hour later, someone breaks into my house. Doesn't rape me, but breaks into my house and kills me. Knock on wood. Who do you think they're going to go after? My neighbor. So my neighbor might get scared because there's nothing broken in my house. There's no broken windows. There's no broken doors, no broken locks. But my neighbor was the last one inside me. They're going to automatically go to him. If they're trying to frame him, and no, I'm not having sex with my neighbor. If they're trying to frame him, and they got a good story on him, this sexy story, neighbor, has fling with a neighbor and ends up dead, that's going to be much more sellable and likable and make a much better story than someone who broke in and there's not even evidence that anybody broke in. So how's my neighbor going to act? He knows he's going to go down for this when he didn't even do anything, but he can't prove he didn't. The only thing he could say is that he did have sex with me. You get what I'm saying? So there's situations like that they very well could have plenty of evidence that the people across the street did it. Maybe she just saw something. Maybe she broke a window when they had killed her. JB was killed by a father. I disagree. They can tell the difference between rape and consensual sex. But I'm just saying, and not even rape, I'm just saying, if they would go after him, he may very well hide his identity because he gets scared. He may very well hide everything about him because he might get scared. He could get scared that the police coming after him and they know they're zeroing in on him And he's already lied because he's married. He's already, I know there's going to be 10 videos. I promise you I'm not having an affair with my neighbor. And he's not married. But, you know, he's married, so he can't let his wife find out. Now his wife's going to find out that we had sex. Blah, blah, blah. You see what I'm saying? I can see that transpiring where somebody would get nervous and would want to run, would want to change their identity, would want to hide stuff, even though they're innocent. But if the whole picture is pointing at them, there's a very good chance they're going to get scared. I know, I swear to God, I'm not having sex with my neighbor. And he's not married, but I'm not having sex with him. I'm sure somebody's going to run with it. I haven't even met him, actually. So I really feel like that there's a good chance he could be innocent. Every single person on that trial, on that jury, were trying to convict him. He was the worst man in America. They wanted him gone. They wanted him dead. Any woman that ever got cheated on, fuck him, fry him. Any woman that was ever in a domestic violence, fuck him, fry him. Everybody wanted to hurt him, and they wanted to hurt him badly. That is why he got convicted. And it's been 16 years. The A&E documentary is the one that has all the info in it. Also, someone in the park says they saw her being kidnapped in a van by these robbers. The judge didn't allow any of this info in trial. Correct. Yeah, I'm not having sex with my neighbor. I literally have not even met him. Why would you get scared when your wife and unborn child went missing? I'd be right there and searching. Okay, look at statistics, Johnny. Like, seriously, look at the statistics. Most women that go missing, it's by a husband or a spouse or a domestic partner. Most men that go missing end up underneath the floor buckets because women end up killing them. That's statistics. The way they were interviewing Scott Peterson, all the interviews, you know, you have to remember too, he was cheating. And in my personal opinion, he was spinning out of control. He just kept spinning because it was one lie after the next, And I felt like, Amber Fry, how are you so stupid? How do you not turn on a damn TV? This was 2004. This wasn't the internet like everybody's on it now. This was 2004. Come on now. Really? You never turned on the news. Okay. You never had your daughter turn on the news. I think I watched more TV then than I do now. It was just weird to me that she always said, like, I didn't know what was going on. You lived 20 minutes away. It was like the biggest case in Modesto County. In Modesto. I thought it was ridiculous. The thing that always got me is that Amber Fry believed him 100%. His lies to her outrageous. She was pretty naive, but she was definitely brave to help cops like she did. Right, Jenny? It was so weird. Like, how do you not see what's going on? It was just strange to me. So, OBS keeps disconnecting all the time. I don't know why. She said she never watched TV. She had a kid. How do you not watch TV at all? Final straw of guilt for me is him taking his boat out in the bay and the body being found in the same location. But it wasn't in the same location. They couldn't find the body for months. So it wasn't in the same location. And think about committing the perfect murder. You're robbers, you commit the perfect murder, and you watch where the husband's going, you know? I don't know. They watch cartoons. Even so, you never looked at a paper, even if you didn't turn on the TV, you never looked at a newspaper, saw what was going on. I don't know, I'm just not buying it. Maybe do an interview with Laura, Amber, and I'll change my mind. Maybe do an interview with who? I am Laura. Oh, Amber Fry? Mark Garagos turned me down, by the way. I tried like 12 times. Nope. No, actually, he didn't tell me that. He never answered me. I read that she went to Modesto and checked Scott out too. It's odd for him to go out on the boat on Christmas Eve with his wife being so pregnant. Not really. Not really. I know that maybe he was doing dope. Maybe he was doing drugs. Maybe he was hiding something. I mean, remember, he was a cheat. How did the robbers know who the robbers didn't know who she was. If Amber did an interview with you, I'll say she's pretty. Tell him you'd like to do a dinner and drink interview with him. I'm not in California. Because the case is active again. The guy makes like $1 million. He's worth $23 million. You're not interviewing with some little YouTuber. Some little nothing peon. So defense lawyer, who is your alternative prime suspect? Are you being sarcastic? A break-in entry who doesn't steal anything but is rich enough to drive their boat 2.5 hours away to Scott's same fishing spot. Remember, nobody knew that Scott had this boat. So the boat does play a significant factor in this due to the fact that nobody knew he had it. So I understand why people think he automatically did that. I think it's circumstance. I think he was hiding it because he was saving it for him and Amber. This was my theory. This has not ever been brought up to the defense. This has never been brought up in court. This has never been brought up anyway. You want to know why? Because I literally just thought about it. Like, literally, just thought about it. What if he went out to the boat because he's trying to impress his new girlfriend and he decided to take her for a ride because he didn't know how to drive a boat. So he was practicing how to drive a boat before he took Amber out. Because he wanted to be all cool with Amber. He wanted to be tough with Amber. He wanted to be the knight in shining armor like all psychos are in the beginning. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why he took a boat out on Christmas. Maybe it had absolutely nothing to do with Lacey. Nothing. But he took a boat out for a ride because he wanted to learn how to ride it. Because he wanted to impress Amber. How's that? How is that? I actually just thought of this. You missed out because you're famous, butthead. I know, right? I'm in homework hell. Aw. I'm serious, Carol. Think about it, though. Think about it. Guys always think they know everything. Yeah, but they don't, though. That was a little boat for him to be tough. Yeah, but it was still a boat. I mean, it's not like a yacht. I know it's not like a yacht, but it's still a boat. And it's in the middle of the ocean. And, you know, he wanted to bring her out there to get romantic with her. I wouldn't be picky if someone had a paddle boat. It's still a boat. And if they said, hey, let's go out on my boat, like, as into true crime as I am, I'd probably think they're going to fucking kill me anyway, so I wouldn't go. Unless I really knew them and trusted them. But even then, I might be a little skeptical. But back in 2004... you know, maybe he just wanted to impress her. Maybe she was big into fish and he was going fishing. I don't know. Way too many coincidences to now start making alternative explanations for every piece of evidence. In fact, killing time, I'm not making excuses. I've always believed he was innocent. And let me rephrase that. I don't know if he's definitely innocent, but I do believe that he definitely deserves a new trial. And I do not believe, under any circumstances, I do not believe that he's guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Put me on that jury, I would have never convicted him, ever. But again, as I've stated previously, I am not one for circumstantial evidence. I do not get into circumstantial evidence. I think it's completely bogus. Bogus. How about this? His wife found out he was having an affair and confronted him. And I got in a fight and he killed her. Sounds more logical to me. Nope, the evidence does not point to that, Sarah. There's absolutely no evidence. There is no physical evidence that ties him to that murder. None. There are no coincidences. Of course there's coincidences. You were just being a defense attorney. No, I'm being logical. There is nothing that physically ties him to that murder. None. Nothing. Even Nancy Grace tried to pull the whole cement thing. That was thrown out. Because she said she has screenshots of Bonnie saying a mess. What are you talking about, Jenny? No drama in here. None. Zip it. Cut it. Did they find a hair on the boat? Johnny, they found one hair on something from his. I can assure you that I found my hair on Brad's clothes, and I'm sure a makeup monster has found her hair on her husband's clothes and vice versa, and tools and everything else. So that one never fly. Wasn't he watching the cops search from the shore, though? Or did I get that wrong? I don't remember. That part I don't remember. Okay, let's rehash the whole case again. This is Laura's thing, MM. No, MM agrees with me. What about cement weights? He made 4 weights. He had to make anchors. But she wasn't tied to that. She was never... there was one hair. Do you know how fucking small one hair is? I'm going to pull out a hair. That's one hair. You can't even see it. One hair. See it? You see it in a certain area of the light. One hair. We shed how many hairs a day? Thousands. We literally shed a couple hundred every day. Don't Google autopsy. No, that's members only. Members only gets the autopsy pictures. I have a dog hair. Exactly. Dog hair, people hair. Many people have been convicted, are not convicted with hair. People have been found to be innocent with bloody handprints. There's evidence of bleach being used. That suspect. Why? Do you ever think maybe he used bleach because his girlfriend smelled like perfume? Or he was afraid he smelled like sex or something? You never know. Thank you, YB. Agreed. I didn't know that, Alicia. Peterson case, the only is what was the first to convict? I'm telling you, the circumstantial evidence will never ever fly. Never. Thank you, Ash. Welcome. Welcome to our crazy group. Think about it, though. He's bleached on a fishing boat. Maybe he was trying to clean it. Maybe he had sex with another girl. Look, the bottom line is, when you are a, what's the word I'm looking for? When you are a cheater and you're a narcissistic abuser cheater, do you really think that you're going to only be sleeping with one? You're going to be sleeping with more than one. I don't know any man who was a big-time cheater and a narcissist that only had one girlfriend. He had lots of girlfriends. Lots. So, doesn't mean if you need to bleach your room after sex, please see a doctor. No, I'm just saying, though. You know, you never know. We are, Ash. We're great. We have a great group. Think about that, though. Some cop that puts his wife in a wood chipper. Oh. What about... actually, you know what? Drew Peterson. Another Peterson. Drew Peterson was convicted on circumstantial evidence. He wasn't convicted on anything physical. It was all circumstantial. He for sure had many other women. Exactly. So he could have been using the bleach for anything. And for my making a murderer people, think about the bleach. Brendan had bleach on his pants. It doesn't mean he's guilty. He said he mopped the floor because the dog had muddy paws. Now, just remember, though, even though Scott Peterson was a liar, Drew Peterson was, yeah. Even though Scott was a liar, sure you haven't, Bobby. Even though Scott Peterson was a liar, and we know he's a known liar, there were certain things that he did tell the truth that everyone thought he was lying, and he was proven to be for real. Scott Peterson's a good-looking guy, though. Yeah, don't marry anyone named Peterson. I agree. You got the staircase that's a Peterson. You got Drew Peterson. And you got Scott Peterson. Now, going back to her family, though, I believe the same in the Watts case. Some stuff don't add up. Not trying to get off topic. I just need critical thinkers in my life. Well, Ash, you got some critical thinkers. However, I believe I knew Chris was guilty from day one. On the flip side, I think Nicole is innocent as can be. Scott was good looking. Drew, that's true. What convinced me that he was guilty was the fact that he told Amber his wife was dead before she was actually missing. But if you did a poll, YB, think about this. If you did a poll of cheating men that really, really, really cheat, if you think about, did a poll, I guarantee you that you would find some of them or a bunch of them that feel that they would lie and say their wife is dead even when they're not dead. They would do that just because. Mine never said his wife was dead, just that he was getting a divorce. Princess is home. They just say they're single. Not all the time. Have you ever done a survey of cheating men? Lots of cheating men? Narcissistic personalities. Usually men that cheat are pathological liars and cheat with multiple women. Absolutely. Why is it that the women that end up dead, their husbands are having an affair? Yep. Or husbands that have an affair end up in the cement in the backyard. I'm pretty sure they found evidence show he killed the first wife. No, they believe he did because of the water. Because there was no water in the bathtub. Her death was originally ruled an accident because of the water. But then they realized that there was no water in the bathtub. So he was full of shit. Do I think Scott Peterson's going to walk? It depends. It depends if they decide to do a jury trial again. If he does a jury trial, it's going to be the dumbest thing he ever did. If he does a judge, I think he's got a good chance. And I don't want to jump too far ahead. It all depends what happens. If he gets a new trial, do I think he's got a good chance of walking? Absolutely. Absolutely. Maybe he was smitten with Amber. So glad I found out before marrying him. I hear you. Drew was a real creep. He was a real creep. But does he have a choice in a... He does. His lawyers can say that they don't want a jury. Most people do a jury because it is their constitutional right that you want to jury your peers, because the theory is a judge can only go by the law, or is supposed to only go by the law. But with a jury trial, you have a good chance that 1 out of 12 is not going to convict you. That's why people do juries. But there's so many factors when it comes to a jury. I'd make a perfect juror. Perfect. And I've never been called to jury trial, ever. 49 years, never been called to jury. Read my comment above regarding the boat. Tinker, can you retype it? Guys, if you want me to see something, just tag me. Alright, real fishing people don't normally use anything with a strong odor, as it gets on the bait and fish won't go near it. He had motive to kill her. He already said his wife was dead. Yeah, but alright, hold on. I'm gonna look this up in a statistic. Hold up. Hold up. Okay, on a side note, John Travolta's nephew Sam died at 52 years old. It just happened to be in a blurb. I don't know why John Travolta is in an article about cheating men. But yeah, his nephew just died. I mean, his cousin. I can't get a statistic. We got an aggravated kidnapper sentenced to life on circumstantial evidence with no person or body found. I'm sorry. No body, no crime. Hey, Just Beck. There's no statistic. Try one more thing. All right. All right, so from what I'm seeing, there's no actual statistic, but it's not that uncommon for a married man to cheat and say that his wife is dead. So it's not out of the norm. Men lie to other women all the time. To the other woman all the time. All right, here's this interesting though. 4 things that men will say to you to get in your pants. 1, I'm not happy in my marriage. 2, I will leave her in X amount of time. 3, we are coexisting under the same roof for the kids. 4, I'm not having sex with her. Those are the 4 biggest things that men will say to get in your pants when they're married. Run. Run. Maybe like a top 10 things a man said. Yeah, it's the mom died. It's not really about them dying. Max told me he was sexually abused as a child, which is why he was the way he was. Lied about it. Oh, wow. Yeah, they say the mom died, not she's dead. But I still say it can't be that uncommon. Kind of YB, not really. Girlfriend of man who killed wife. Guess who that's about? Wow. Man lied about coronavirus symptoms so he could join his wife in the maternity center. All right. So that's what I have on Scott Peterson. Lacey was adorable. That's what I have on Scott Peterson. Now, I got something else for you guys. Kind of sad, really. Makeup mobster, you're going to like this. Alright, so if you guys have any other questions on him, let me know. But next on the docket, 2 years after Bill Cosby enters prison. That's what he looks like now. Pretty scary. Definitely pretty scary. He turns 83 on September 4th. Hope he rots in jail in hell. Yeah. I knew you liked that, Make a Mobster, yeah. He turns 83 on September 4th. It's 2 years. I know, it's crazy. In September, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court agreed to review his conviction. Cosby's campus claimed former Montgomery District Attorney Bruce Castor granted the disgraced comedian immunity in 2005 so he could testify in Constance's 2004 civil lawsuit against him. Which means that he also could get out. He didn't turn a scumbag. He always was a scumbag. That's the difference. He was a scumbag. So in other news, a Florida deputy lost his job after he was arrested Sunday on child abuse allegations. This is a cop, Blue's finest. According to Orange County Sheriff's Office, Christopher Dougherty, 37, has been fired from his position as a deputy following a disturbing incident with his children. Dougherty allegedly armed his daughter with a rifle and told her to shoot anyone that walked onto their property. This is a child. An arrest affidavit states that Dougherty also performed an exorcism on his son and told his children the home had demons in it. When police arrived at the home, now granted he was a cop, when police arrived at the house, they found Dougherty armed with a gun and his daughter lying down in a shooting position while holding a rifle. Another child had a taser. The daughter reportedly told authorities that her father gave her the rifle, a bulletproof vest, and a Kaler helmet. He allegedly ordered her to hide in the bedroom while keeping watch. The girl also said that when she woke up earlier that morning, her dad told her that they needed to burn possessed demons in the house. They burned several items in the drain in the parking lot and performed an exorcism on the brother. The girl stated she trusts her dad and would have shot anyone who came in. Now, mind you, these aren't teenagers. These are young kids. Dougherty was subsequently admitted to a local hospital under the Baker Act. He was arrested upon hospital release. Dougherty was fired from his positions at Orange County OCSO for unsatisfactory performance, according to Sheriff John Mina, who didn't go into further details about termination. While this deputy was terminated for a pattern of unsatisfactory performance, these are very serious criminal allegations, Mina said. As law enforcement officers, we are held to the highest standards of conduct, whether on duty or off duty. But we are also concerned for the deputy's mental health. On Monday, Dougherty made a first court appearance. A judge barred him from contact with his children and ordered him to surrender any weapons. That's all I got. Crazy, right? And this is a cop. I don't know where the wife was, but these kids were young. These were not older kids. This was like young kids. Woman in her 30s died of COVID. They say COVID-18. I think that was a mistake. COVID-19 while on a flight in Arizona. The unidentified woman who was from the Dallas area was on a plane in Arizona when she died in July. According to the report that was just released, the plane was at was on an airport tamarack when the woman died. The report does not reveal the airline carrier of the flight or confirm its origin or destination. The fatality was first reported in a news release issued Sunday by the Dallas County Health and Human Services. According to the news release, the woman had unspecified underlying health risk conditions. Due to medical privacy laws, authorities have not revealed many details about the woman's death. And that's it. No more details. And I got one more for you. One more story for you. A little girl was covered in bruises and bites after her mom's boyfriend beats her to death in a hotel room. So a 4-year-old girl who was found dead in a Louisiana hotel room earlier this month had multiple signs of physical abuse, according to recently released court documents. The New Orleans Advocate reported that Joni Hawkins had a healed rib fracture, bruises, and human bite marks. The 4-year-old reportedly also had vaginal trauma, which was consistent with the insertion of an object similar to a finger. Per an autopsy, Hawkins died from several internal bleeding causes by blunt force trauma to the abdomen. Officials believe someone kicked and punched her so hard that it ruptured her spleen and her liver. She reportedly died in New Orleans hotel room as her mother's boyfriend, Anthony Steele, 21 years old, watched her for several hours on October 3rd. The mother reportedly called 911 after finding a 4-year-old limp in the hotel room. Steele remains unaccounted for since being charged with second-degree murder for Hawkins' death. He allegedly told police he put Hawkins in a bath after she soiled her underwear and had left her in the tub while he and the other children slept. He reportedly said that during his nap he heard a thump and splashing and rushed to the bathroom. Steele claimed he pressed on Hawkins' stomach to ensure she had not swallowed any water. He said he determined Hawkins was breathing normally before dressing her and putting her into bed. Court records stated that Hawkins' mother left Hawkins a 1-year-old sibling and a teen relative with Steele as she attended a party on October 3rd. The mother reportedly returned around 5 a.m. Steele allegedly told her that Hawkins fell in the tub and injured her lip. Steele reportedly begged his girlfriend not to call 911. He also told the teen relative who was in the hotel room that night, "Remember what I told you?" as the teen walked into the hospital, the news report said. Who does this? What kind of sick motherfucker are you to go to rape a 4-year-old? To insert something into a 4-year-old. She's 4 years old, you sick fuck. I can't deal with sickness. I mean, these people are fucking crazy. I hope this guy gets raped 10 times in prison. That's just crazy. Crazy. People are just fucking crazy. That's it. That's all I got for you guys. Any questions? He'll meet his demise in prison. I hope he does. I really hope he does. He needs to. Definitely needs to. Thank you, Lucy's World. Check Facebook app. Actually, I gotta tell you something. It's important too. When I was done with my live, I was gonna call you. I can't watch it now. Your hair looks beautiful. Did you cut it? No, I didn't cut it. Just took out extensions. Looks great. Thank you, darling. So does anyone have any questions? So this is what I'm going to do, guys. Don't cringe and don't hate me. But I got to get to 10,000. And I know how to do it. No, I'm totally kidding. But I keep seeing everybody doing Chris Watts. I'm not doing Chris Watts. But I do think Nicole needs a voice. And just like I gave Shanann a voice, I think Nicole needs a voice. I do not think Nicole did anything. I think Nicole was a victim. She was also a lying, cheating hoe. But that doesn't make her involved in a triple fucking homicide involving kids. So I think I'm going to kind of take the same stance I did when I knew Chris was guilty. Because she's getting a lot of heat. There's a lot of people coming down saying, oh, she's involved, she's involved. I don't believe she was. I'll never believe she was. But I'm going to, look back into it. But I promise you I'm not taking the Chris approach. I'm only looking into it from Nicole's point of view. So don't hate me for it. I don't think she had any part of the murders at all. I know pug wash and I'm close, but I'm not quite there. You need to be Monica Lewinsky. Ew. I wonder if she still has the dress. Really like me stuff, it becomes a matter of. I do. I don't think she's guilty. They're trying to say, yeah, Mommy Ramsey's been after her for a long time. You hate me? We aren't friends anymore? Why? Why aren't we friends anymore? What'd I do? Why, you think she's guilty? NK, what? Exactly, Jenny. Exactly. She hosted a reality show once. Oh, Monica? No, I do. I feel like she's getting the raw shit of the deal. I really do. I honestly and truly do. I think she's getting the raw end of the deal. Because you're doing a CW vid. No, I'm not doing a Chris Watts vid. I'm not. I don't care about Chris Watts. I didn't care about Chris Watts then. But I really think Nicole, people are coming after. And I think it's wrong. She's not guilty of something. Why all the lies? See, coffee then goes back to the same thing. But she shouldn't have to change her name. Because some nitwit in fucking England decides that she must be guilty. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's sick. She shouldn't have to do that. She is a victim. And she is only as bad as he made her. Miss Pansy Pores, I don't erase anything. Well, most things. I don't believe she was involved, but I also say she decided to hide and does have a voice. I'd hide too. Come on, Chris Watts was the biggest case out there. And you got someone like Mommy Ramblings who's, notably big. And you got Armchair Detective, notably big in the case, totally accusing her. I'd be in fucking hiding too. What, are you kidding me? Nope. See, Dawn Marie, I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that. You can say that she's a bad influence because if he got a divorce or she broke up the family. But as I've always said, she wasn't married to him. She's not the one that was married. He was. I think people need to leave her alone. I agree with that. So I got to re-look at a lot of stuff with her. I got to rewatch the interviews. So it's going to take a little research. They had threesomes with men. Who did? I don't remember that. But then again, I didn't look that much into it. I didn't even know. She didn't change her name yet. Why'd she look up Shanann before she claimed? That was a typo. The cops said that was a typo. And of course she looked him up. I'd look up the guy that I thought was cute. AD is a pig. I agree with you. She was hiding out in Milwaukee. I'd be fucking hiding out too. I'd change my name. I would legally change my name, my hair, I'd get boobs. Something. Chris and Nicole, Laura. How do you know? I would have looked at his wife too, straight up. Hell yeah. I don't understand why Randy striked your reaction channel. I don't know either, just back. Yeah, me too. He's a pig. I agree. She looked it up before she said she even met CW. That's not true. That's complete bogus. They said they had the year wrong. I mean, cops are human. They make mistakes. So, all right. I'm going to shut down, though. I can finish my dinner. I want to say happy birthday to Brendan, who is now going on his 15th year in prison for a crime that I don't believe he committed. So, Brendan, happy birthday. Hopefully you'll get out one day. Hopefully. And I really hope you do get out one day. We're still fighting for you. I know where Cozy's looking up from heaven. And he's going to get you out somehow. I promise you, Brandon, he's going to get you out. He was your number one biggest supporter. And he will look down from the heavens and he will sweep you out of jail and he'll kick the judges, but he will get you out. I know, poor kid. Thanks, Lucy. And as you guys know, Making a Murder is always going to be where my heart is. I just wish there was something to work on. My space bar. I've done that before. I had a feeling that's what it was. You're welcome, Muppets. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Right here, True Crime. I'm going to be working on that. Nicole Kessinger stuff. And probably do a little bit of it each week. And some other news things. Thank you, Hummingbird. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. And I'm going to eat dinner. Peace.